5, 4, 3. Welcome to Peacekeeper Reaction. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us today, you guys. It's a very special episode. I just returned to Calgary, British Columbia from a small trip that I did in order to see a live performance of my favorite band of all time, probably the band that means the most to me of all bands and all music. I mean, Nirvana is a close second, but Tool, for me, is the greatest band of all time. I still remember when I was a young Nathan, a little Nathan in junior high school. I'd been expelled from my Montgomery junior high on the very first day. I brought weed and I got some kids baked, and they went to their classes and they were sick, and they all ratted on me. So I got expelled on the very first day of grade 9. And that's kind of an accomplishment, I got to say. I'm kind of proud of it. That's pretty gangster. But anyways, I went to this other school, Queen Elizabeth in Calgary. And I was a huge Marilyn Manson fan at the time. And I remember there was this dude, he was like an older goth. He was in grade 12 because this was a junior, senior high school split or whatever. And he's like, "You like Marilyn Manson?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's the best." He's like, "Well, maybe you should give this a listen." And he gave me a CD he gave me Anima. And I remember putting it in my Discman, and I swear to God, that thing didn't fucking my anti-shock Discman. It had a 30-second on anti-skip, not to brag, but it like didn't leave my Discman. I mean, I was obsessed with that album. I was obsessed with the this was kind of pre-internet. Internet was starting to get going. There, people were talking about this new Napster thing. But there was still limited information on the band. Like, I only had whatever the CD booklet showed me, you know what I mean? And it was so fascinating because I had no idea what Tool even looked like at this point, or what the Maynard James Keenan, who is this guy? What the fuck? But anyways, so that guy giving me that CD changed my entire life. You know what I mean? I became a Tool fan, or an insufferable retard, as we are sometimes called. So anyways, fast forward to now. I'd never been able to see Tool live. They came to Calgary a few times, and for reasons beyond my control, I was never able to attend any of these concerts, and it made me very sad. I was a sad boy. But anyways, what am I talking about? So I bought tickets for this new tour, and I was very excited. I was going to make the 4-hour trip from Calgary, British Columbia to Calgary in order to see Tool, and I thought I'd bring Hunter along, who's also a kind of a regular on the show, and his mother Jack, who has appeared on the show. I thought I'll buy these guys tickets, but secretly, I gotta say, I didn't really care if they saw Tool. It was kind of a way to get a ride to Calgary. So we drove the 4 hours to Calgary. It was kind of a cold journey. It's winter here in Alberta and British Columbia. But we made the trip. We woke up at 5 that morning, 5 a.m., and we drove to Calgary, and we had hours to kill before the concert. So we did the visit family thing that you do. We visited Jack and Jack's mother, Hunter's grandmother, and it was a great time had by all. But I'm really not here to visit family. I could give a fuck about any of them. Just kidding. Anyways, so we went to my friend's house where I started preparing for the concert. I bought a 60-pounder of vodka, and I got some mushrooms. What I thought was a small, kind of moderate amount of mushrooms turned out to be 6-gram stem that I ate. So I put it on pizza, and I was fucking almost kicked in. I would say half an hour later, I was up total fucking mess on mushrooms. I was very, very high. Started drinking. We got to the show around 8:40. So doors opened, I guess, at 7:30, or the show was supposed to open at 7:30. So unfortunately, we missed Steel Beans. So, that sucked. But as we got to the door, the woman said they're about to go on, so we got our tickets. I bought beverages, 3 beers for me, Jack, and Hunter. And of course, that was like $40. But that's what happens when you go to shows. They gouge you for beer. And we took our seat just in time and I think the set list is right. Again, I was very high on mushrooms. As they kicked into Fear Inoculum was the first song, and it was brilliant. And then Jambi next. I mean, this is fucking great. So I was fucking starting to really feel the mushrooms. And then they kicked into the pot. And I gotta say, I felt like Maynard during the pot wasn't giving it his all. You know what I mean? Like, it felt sort of like this is a hit for the people who are like passive level Tool fans. And I gotta say also, I was sitting differently from Hunter and Jack. I bought my ticket before I bought their too. So while we were in the same section, our seats were at different levels or whatever. But after the pot, they started Rosetta Stoned, and I started fucking totally tripping. At this point, the mushrooms have totally taken over my body. I'm tripping so bad. I feel like the protagonist in Rosetta Stoned. I mean, I can't believe that they're playing Rosetta Stoned. I was fucking losing my shit. The garbly parts even sounded more like Peanut's parents. And I just thought, this is the fucking greatest thing. Rosetta Stone for me is my favorite Tool song. I think that or Right In 2. But I felt like I didn't expect them to do it live. There was no way. Like, if you asked me what Tool songs they would probably play, I was not expecting Rosetta Stone. So when they kicked into it, it was fucking the best. And I remember looking down the row around the quarter way through Rosetta Stone, I saw Hunter and his mom start walking down the aisle, and I was like, okay, that's kind of, whatever. Maybe they're going to the merch booth because Jack said she had to buy some shirts. But during the Rosetta Stone, it was great. It was the best. And then after Rosetta Stone, the Numa started, and I got to say, in my head, I'm making calculations. Like, it's always a crapshoot. Like, fuck, I really got to get a hoodie. I want a fucking Tool hoodie from the show. I should hit them. Maybe is this the song I want to hit during the merch booth? But what if, I'm not here for Numa. I love Numa, but I'm not here for Numa. So I'm like, okay, I'll go down to the merch booth. I saw Jack and Hunter in lineup at the merch booth. We started talking, and they were telling me that Hunter, who also took mushrooms, was a little bit too high. And the laser show was a little too intense. So I was like, okay, well, just relax. You guys will be cool. I got my hoodie and another beverage, and I thought, fuck. I really feel drunk, and on the mushrooms at the time, maybe I'll take a second, go to the bathroom and do a little bit of nose candy that I had also acquired during that day. So I went in and I was fucking fiddling around with the Coke flap. The Coke flap is all fucked up. So I just crushed it up. There was like liquid on the toilet paper dispenser. I don't know if that's to deter people from doing what I was doing. So I just stuck a fucking bill in the whole flap and just did a fucking huge rip, and I was fucking peak high. I don't know if I should be saying this at this point. I'm not going to be president, so it doesn't matter. But I could hear the ending notes of Numa, and then they started kicking into Descending. So I thought, oh, fucking perfect. At this point, I'm fucking like I'm so high on mushrooms. I'm like looking at my hand. So I went up and I saw Hunter and Jack, and they were like, Hunter's feeling a little overstimulated with all the shit. So we're going to hang out. And I was like, you know what? That's okay. I'm like, I saw Rosetta Stoned. That's what I came here for. Maybe I'll go and see 10 more minutes of Tool to get my fix, and then we can leave if, Hunter's not feeling well. And then I went and took my seat. And they kicked into The Grudge after descending. And I was like, I texted Jack. I said, you guys should leave because there's no fucking way I'm leaving this concert. So they grabbed a cab and they went to a friend's house. And I watched The Grudge. And then there was a bit of an intermission. They had a timer up. So I was like, fuck, I missed Numa. This would have been... it even has a timer. The girl behind me was saying, yeah, like, this would be the perfect time to get merch. And I was talking to them and stuff about what songs we wanted to see. Very nice couple behind me. And then I was too high. Like, I finished my beer and I wanted another one, but I was so high, I was glued to my seat or whatever. You know what I mean? When you're like super high on mushrooms and you're like, this is fucking weird. It was so weird. So the countdown happened. It was like a 10-minute thing. That would have been a perfect time to get some merch. So I feel like a bit of an idiot. I wish I'd waited. But anyways, the countdown finishes. Danny Carey comes out and does chocolate trip kind of solo with the drums, and he was messing around with what looked like a synthesizer. And I just was blown away. Watching Danny Carey live in person is just probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. That's why I was so bummed. Like, if I knew there was going to be a timed intermission, I would have went. But then the tables I probably would have been still sitting there. I would have missed chocolate chips. So it's like, it's one of those things, you know. Anyways, they kicked into Calling Voices, kind of like a set where they were all sitting, like kind of in front. It was kind of like an unplugged kind of version. Then they did Invincible, which was awesome. I mean, like, at this point, the laser show and everything was so fucking crazy. I was totally just in the zone, and I'd never seen Tool before. So this was like, since I got that first album, like a 30-year thing where I just wanted to see Tool. And then Maynard says, okay. And I gotta say, I noticed this. I was thinking to myself, how come there are no fucking annoying phone people? So I guess there was a thing that said, you know, if you film at a Tool show, they'll kick you out and not give you any refunds. And people were complaining about that. But it was like so nice to just watch a show and not fucking see a bunch of phones. Like, I loved it. I thought it was just Tool fans showing respect. But I guess some fans were complaining about that. But it's like, fuck off. You film these concert clips. Nobody's going to watch your shit. Nobody wants to see that. Live in the moment, man. So it's nice. But then Maynard said, you guys, if you want to whip out your phones and record, you can record this last song. And they kicked into Anima. And it was just the perfect ending for a perfect show. I just was so happy that I got to see Tool live, and oh man, it was almost a spiritual, almost emotional experience seeing all these songs live, especially like The Pot and Rosetta Stone and The Grudge, obviously. So there were a few songs that I wish they had played. Like, I really would have loved to see Right Into live, or Lateralis obviously would be nice, but I'm happy with the song selection I got, and like I said, just seeing Rosetta Stoned, that was probably the greatest moment of my life. Like, I just loved it. So it was a great show. Maynard was doing his skulking around the stage thing. He was wearing like a nice suit. Everyone was just so amazing, and the fans were great too, and I had a great time, and I loved it. So that's my review of Tool in Calgary. If you were there or if you've caught Tool on this tour, leave some comments. Let me know about your experience. And for Peacekeeper, I'm Nathan. Play safe. I can put my arm back on.
Why are you here?
0.25s, 0.25s.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Zopiclone, Imovane.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Oxycontin with Ritalin. That's fun.
Why are you here?
Tried ketamine.
Put him on benzos.
Do it. 0.25s, 0.25s, 0.25s.
Put him on benzos.
That's a party. That's a party. That's a party.
Put him on benzos.
0.25s, 0.25s, 0.25s.
Put him on benzos.
That's a party. That's a party. That's a party.
His anxiety's through the roof. Put him on benzos.
Yee. That's fun. 0.25.
Put him on benzos.
Cut it into small pieces.
You should try it.
Cut it into small pieces.
It's fun.
Cut it into small pieces.
Bloody fun.
Cut it